bright and good because too much people. You see, you play seven net.
Brighton's good?
Yeah, so many people coming. You see, nice day. Yeah, look. Crazy people all day play.
The new ball is better. It's better.
You play volleyball?
Soft.
No?
The new ball is soft and light. Soft. Suave.
This beach
Muy
volleyball.
suave. Soft and light.
Good.
Better,
Because
better than a
no,
woman.
indoor,
Better
so
than a
strong,
What?
so strong. Indoor, very strong, like stone. In
Oh, the
foot.
ball?
Yeah. Oh, beach volleyball, enjoy it, Dave.
This ball is better. Better than this ball. This one's lighter. Look.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, nice. I have light too. Yeah.
It's better than woman. It's so light.
Beautiful. It's much better before. You see the same. You look the same. Yeah.
Even better though.
Beautiful.
The man of the East cannot take Americans seriously. Period. The man of the East cannot take him. The man of the East cannot take Americans seriously.
It's like
Period. The man of the East cannot take Americans seriously because they have never undergone the experiences that teach men how relative their judgments and thinking habits are. Their resultant lack of imagination is appalling. So I was going to do a podcast to stir up the imagination of Americans. What? Oh my God. I'm reading from Captive Mind, from Czesław Miłosz, winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature. Wow. Is this a winning book? Yeah, this is an award-winning, high-level, intellectual podcast of the highest order. Because they were born and raised in a given social order and in a given system of values, they believe that any other order must be unnatural, and that it cannot last because it is incompatible with human nature. Yeah, like anything, any system, system, government other than American style isn't any good, and it's not gonna last. Yeah. Oh, that's what is that why they think Americans, they don't take them seriously? Or, I thought we were serious. They said just let them walk when they had the graduation at the Harvard, and the protesters walked out, and a lot of people cheered and said, just let them walk. Yeah, just get out. Oh, so you don't agree with this podcast, just get out. Okay. Just let them walk. Let them walk. Yeah, so they got rid of those, and 13 of them in the Harvard, they actually weren't. They were suspended from graduating, the protesters. But even they may one day know fire, hunger, and the sword. In all probability, this is what will occur, for it is hard to believe that when one half of the world is living through terrible disasters, the other half can continue a 19th century mode of life learning about the distress of its distant fellow man, only from movies and newspapers and this podcast. I don't know about what these people are doing with disrupting the graduation and everything else. So, what you doing? Recent examples teach us that this cannot be. An inhabitant of Warsaw or Budapest once looked at newsreels of bombed Spain or burning Shanghai. But in the end, he learned how these and many other catastrophes appear in actuality. He looked at newspaper reels. And we're going to try to look at what they really are afterwards. And he read gloomy tales of the NKVD until one day he found himself had to deal with it. If something exists in one place, it will exist everywhere. Okay, so he's saying if something exists, like if they have a problem in Ukraine or Gaza, Israel, or whatever it is, it will exist everywhere in all the different colleges with the protest going on during commencement. It will be in every commencement. What? Why are you disrupting commencement with this podcast? I know. If something exists in one place, it will exist everywhere. Well, that's your theory of the unified global oneness with the universalism and your unified global world and all this junk you're talking about. This is the conclusion he draws from his observations. And so he has no particular faith in the momentary prosperity of America. Yeah, I don't know if we have faith in the prosperity of America. Well, I would say that this book is written in 1951, that America was pretty prosperous, I suppose. After that year, and did you prosper yourself? Well, I wasn't even born. Wait a minute. Yeah, but my family did. And he suspects that the years 1933 to 45 in Europe prefigure what will occur elsewhere. A hard school where ignorance was punished. Yeah, if you're ignorant, you may encounter a hard school and be punished. You're not learning anything in this podcast. A hard school. Punished not by bad marks, but by death, has taught him to think sociologically and historically. Okay, so if you haven't read this book, you will not be punished by getting a bad grade at Harvard or in this college you're at, but you'll be punished by death. Okay, so if you protest in the wrong way.
Why is it ringing? What's happening, Augusto? ¿Qué pasando? What's happening? Wait, what's happening? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
Oh yeah?
Huh?
Pickle.
Pickle. Who's pickleball? Are you in Flushing? You went to Flushing? Oh, you're there? No. Yeah, I know. I'm in the party with volleyball. I know they have champions on Domingo as a football. I know. Yeah, what's that? You vamos? Mañana. It's hoy. I don't know. I don't know. Más tarde I llama, yeah. Okay. Más tarde llama. I'm muy ocupado. Maybe mañana? I don't know. Tomorrow? Okay, I'm ocupado. I'll llama más tarde. Yeah, okay, bye. Buen día. Oh. Sorry about that, but it's a gusto.
Are Americans really stupid? Question mark. Yeah, I'm looking at this issue in a fresh way and trying to figure out if I'm stupid in a way. Oh, yeah, let's see if you can do a podcast that isn't stupid. Yeah, well, I'm trying to reduce my stupidity. That's why I'm reading books. What do you want me to do? I'm reading in The Captive Mind, the winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, Vintage International, Czesław Milosz, Chapter 2. Looking to the West, are Americans really stupid? I was asked in Warsaw, so somebody asked him if Americans were stupid. He was asked, and I'm asking now. I'm asked now if are Americans really stupid? Yeah. Well, that could be argued that some of them are, most of them are really stupid. What? You're saying that most Americans are really stupid? Wait a minute. Who are you to say such stuff, and how do you know? And, are Americans really stupid? Well, in the voice of the man who posed the question, there was despair, as well as the hope that I would contradict him. Well, there is some despair over whether they're stupid. Yeah, you could see... there's a lot of reasons to think they're stupid, and a lot of them are stupid, I suppose. And they could be provincial and not globally aware, not that educated or narrow-minded, and there's been a lot of people that have. Well, forgetting just politics, I mean, there's been a rough time in history, and yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and you had a pandemic, and this question reveals the attitude of the average person in the world, people's democracies towards the West. Yeah, it reveals there's an attitude about the average people and the people's democracies towards the West, and there's a attitude and not that great of respect in this podcast for the democracies in the West. It is a despair mixed with a residue of hope. Well, isn't there a residue of hope when you talk about a democracy? I mean, you felt hopeful when you were reading about Thomas Jefferson. Maybe you read Thomas Paine, or you read... what about your Adam Smith guy, or don't you have any others? During the last few years, the West has given these people a number of reasons to despair politically. Well, there have been a number of reasons to despair. If you look at the politics, well... Yeah, but you're not prone to despair because you promote mystical enlightenment and meditation and yeah, so you're not really that involved in despair, and you're just gonna meditate and go play volleyball, and I don't see why you read this stuff even. I mean, and there's quite a bit of despair in the New York Times over people losing their home insurance and their home insurance coverage of their homes all across the country, even in the middle of the country, like Iowa or something. So you're saying car insurance and home insurance and all this stuff is going way up? Yeah, well, maybe the prices of homes will come down if it goes way up. Yeah. What's that got to do with despair and politics? In the case of the intellectual, other more complicated reasons come into play. Yeah, well, what you deal about with the intellectuals? Yeah, like a lot of intellectuals, they write opinion pieces in the New York Times, and lately you haven't even read those things and you skip over them, but you're skipping. You used to read the whole articles, but now sometimes you read a little and stop. I mean, what's going on? Are you no longer an intellectual too? What? In the case of the intellectual, other more complicated reasons come into play. Before the countries of Central and Eastern Europe entered the sphere of the Imperium, they lived through the Second World War. That war was much more devastating there than in the countries of Western Europe. Well, I suppose the war was more devastating in the Eastern Europe. Yeah, more Russians died and more people died in the eastern part of the Eastern European. It's funny, there's this book, it's like the notes of Ernst Jünger, which must be kind of interesting because he's probably, remember, not every German is a bad person, and I don't know, this guy probably isn't a bad person really, but his job was, he was a German in Paris, and I don't know how bad he is, but he wrote about his memoirs about being... He actually had to do counterintelligence or something. This guy, what's his name? Ernst Jünger is a German officer in occupied Paris. He's mentioned by the Bernard Henry Levy, and what's that? What are you going to learn about that? Well, occupied Paris is probably not just just devastating as in the eastern part. It was much worse in Stalingrad. Yeah, the war was much more devastating than there than in the countries of Western Europe. It destroyed not only their economies, but also a great many values which had seemed till then unshakable. Yeah, where's their values, I wonder, in the eastern part? I mean, what happened over there? People tend to regard the order he lives in as natural. Man tends to regard the order he lives in as natural. Okay, is it natural? The houses he passes on his way to work seem more like rocks rising out of the earth than like products of human hands. He considers the work he does in his office or factory as essential to the harmonious functioning of the world. Yeah, I consider it like my uni kicks and my municipal finance work as essential to the harmonious functioning of the world, because I would do like things like housing finance, and I would do student loan deals, and yeah, well, you just got all the kids in debt, and then you could act as like you do like you're building bridges and roads. And did you fund courthouses like you did
working.
municipal finance for a courthouse? You did all kinds of stuff, I guess, didn't you? Yeah. What else did you do? Tobacco settlement kicks. The harmonious functioning of the world. Well, in a lot of ways, all these cities and states were like, in a way, with all this muni bonds. I mean, I sort of like they use a credit card and they all got the debt going up and up and maintain debt. They'll sell muni bonds backed by tax receipts, and in the future, what? Yeah, why don't they just spend their tax receipts in the present moment? Well, yeah, I know, muni finance, yeah. Why would you have an opinion? Yeah. The clothes he wears are exactly what they should be. And he laughs at the idea that he might equally well be wearing a Roman toga or medieval armor. Yeah, the funny thing is I saw the picture of like